Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Skies are looking good outside right now. You know, I just kind of had a blurb. I'm like, wait, it's fall.
Yeah, it
feels like it.
It came upon us quickly, didn't it? Yeah, officially this past Sunday it was fall. It's feeling really nice and pleasant. Yesterday afternoon was great.
Yes.
We started with some rain showers this morning, but they quickly moved on out of here. But we're going to be dealing with Helen. So yes, so you wonder how exactly does that affect us? Well, we'll talk about that in big weather, as I call it, here in a little bit. But let's talk about these temperatures right now. 80 degrees in central Arkansas, feeling good. In 70s in the northern portion of the state, 74. They were in the 50s this morning. How nice is that? But we are looking for the day by day, hour by hour day, things look a little bit more sunny. So we are looking at a high today around 81. But by tonight, if you're heading out to the tribes, it's going to be a good evening for it. Looking for those temperatures in the upper 70s and maybe even dropping a little bit below that. But we are talking about Hurricane Helen as of 10 a.m. this morning, 80 miles per hour, gusting to 100. So we're going to have a little bit more on this coming up in a few minutes and exactly how it will affect the natural state.
Tracy, thank you. The now upgraded Hurricane Helen is gaining strength while moving through the Gulf Coast. Jason Allen is tracking the storm and shares how Florida is bracing for impact.
Along Florida's west coast, residents are boarding, fueling, and filling up before Helen's potentially dangerous hit. In Tallahassee, Dorothy Richardson is getting ready to hunker down with 6 of her grandchildren.
Either which way it go, I need to prepare. Get my sandbags, got my coal, got my lighter fluid, got my propane tank.
Meanwhile, Russell King is preparing to evacuate his Mexico Beach home. He says the house barely withstood Hurricane Michael in 2018.
We lost our shower, we lost our elevator, we lost all of our ground floor walls. We think we're okay with these now, but we don't know. 125 miles an hour, they get blown out.
Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency for most of Florida, and mandatory evacuations are in effect for some living along the coast.
You can hide from the wind, and there will be significant wind on this storm, but you got to run from the water.
Tallahassee Mayor John Daly says the city is doubling its workforce, with crews from other states coming in to help restore power and deliver aid to the area after Helen hits.
You are used to hurricanes. When you see a storm track like this, though, how much does it concern you?
It's very concerning. I'm from Tallahassee. This is my hometown. We have never seen a storm of this magnitude that could possibly be a direct hit to Tallahassee.
Right here along the water, busy marinas are empty this morning. People have been moving boats and everything else away from the water. And this is a community that is still dealing with damage from Debbie from last month and from Hurricane Idalia from last year. Jason Allen, CBS News, Steinhatchee, Florida.
Moving to developing news this afternoon, a hearing for the person accused of aiding in the death of a woman and her unborn child is being rescheduled. The person on the left of your screen is Jamie Waterman. Waterman was supposed to appear in court today for a pretrial hearing, but that's no longer the case as a new hearing is being set for October 15th, where Waterman is expected to change his plea. His wife, Amber Waterman, will also be sentenced that day in her federal case. Both are accused of kidnapping Ashley Bush, killing her and her unborn child during an attempt to claim the baby as their own. And at this hour, we're still waiting to learn more about a person killed in a tragic accident in North Little Rock. It happened near Bockham Pike and Campbell Road. The video you're seeing is from the scene where an 18-wheeler collided with an SUV. We don't know which driver died at this time, but we'll work to update you once we have those new details. And in other new developments, an Alexander man is spending the afternoon behind bars, accused of killing someone earlier this month. On September 9th, police found Lawrence Nichols dead near Sweet Home. In the late hours of last night, LeVar Moore was arrested and charged with capital murder for Nichols' death. And looking ahead, this time next week, local law enforcement will be getting ready for National Night Out. The goal, to strengthen relationships among first responders. Little Rock's mayor is expecting some changes to this year's ceremonies as work continues to help people get a better understanding of their communities.
Ensure that we have a greater connection within the communities and really kind of somewhat regionalize our neighborhood associations into this event that's truly about meeting one another, but also connecting with our housing neighborhood programs as well as our Little Rock Police Department.
The events will be split into community hubs at MacArthur Park, Memorial Park, and local community centers. As we inch closer to Election Day, chances are you're seeing more and more political ads, probably even on our channel, one of which we may include Issue 2, a topic which seems to need a bit of clarification. We heard your concerns and want to break down what you might see on the ballot come November. If you vote yes on the Issue 2 amendment, the Pope County casino license would be stripped away, and the fate of future casinos would be determined by a local vote. If you vote no, Pope County will keep its license and the current rules will stand.
So you have to decide what's more important. Should individual communities be able to make this decision for themselves, or do you think it's more important that we get this license issued and start getting this money into the coffers of the state?
Right now, there is an ongoing push to have the entire amendment disqualified. We'll follow the Supreme Court's decision and will always help you understand what you need to know. And at the national level, both presidential candidates are shifting focus to the economy. Skylar Henry takes us on the campaign trail for a look at how it's shaping out.
Former President Donald Trump campaigns in the battleground state of North Carolina today, a day after he promised supporters in Georgia his policies will lead to a U.S. manufacturing boom.
We're cutting the business tax from 21% to 15%, which makes us the most competitive tax anywhere on the planet, but only for those who make their product in the USA.
Trump warned companies making products abroad will have to pay a substantial tariff, sparking criticism within his own party.
I'm not a fan of tariffs. They raise the prices for American consumers.
Vice President Kamala Harris is set to talk to a business group in Pittsburgh today. Tuesday, she looked to highlight differences on another key issue, abortion rights, calling for a change to Senate rules to secure federal protections.
I think we should eliminate the filibuster for Roe. 51 votes would be what we need to actually put back in law the protections for reproductive freedom.
That proposal was slammed as short-sighted by West Virginia's retiring Democrat-turned-independent Senator Joe Manchin.
Once you start down that in policy and on policies, you'll have everything under the sun thrown at and it'll dissipate. And then you flip-flop back and forth. You have no continuity whatsoever.
Manchin also said that he is not endorsing Harris. Earlier this year, he told Face the Nation he wouldn't vote for Trump. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And turning now to a few events to have on your radar, starting with celebrations for the reopening of the Jim Daly Pool at the historic Way Memorial Park. Just hours ago, our team captured the moment the ribbon was cut to acknowledge the new renovations. In addition, a new HVAC system has also been installed. The pool is officially open at 300 South Monroe Street, ready for you to enjoy the new updates. And also happening today, Maumel's Pine Forest Elementary School will be recognized for academic achievement. In a little over an hour, the school will become one of 3 Arkansas schools to join the Blue Ribbon program. Celebrations are happening in the form of a pep rally, and that starts shortly after 1 p.m. this afternoon. And moving from education to minor league baseball, the Arkansas Travelers are hoping to keep their streak from last night going in the 3rd and final game of the Texas League Championship Series. The team was able to secure the victory in last night's must-win matchup against the Midland Rockhounds. Now they only have this one game left to take home their first championship win since 2008. Tonight, the Travs will return to Dickey-Stephens Park to face the Rockhounds again, and make sure to wear your red, as tonight is a red out. First pitch is at 6:35 tonight, and sports director Tyler Kaz has you covered over the air with live coverage. If you're struggling to make friends, try taking a different approach. Just ahead, we share how social apps are creating new bonds. Tracy?
Lots of sunshine out there, and we've got 80-degree temperatures in the metro, but things aren't changing as we head into the weekend. Stay with me and I'll have that full forecast coming up after the break.